So, first off, I need to know name and.
So it's Jenny B. I'm
Mhm.
Jenny B. And Vic is behind the camera, and we're going to do an interview for my YouTube channel.
Woohoo! All right. How long have you been modeling?
This year, it'll be 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Have you traveled a lot?
The last 2.5 years before this year, because this year is the pandemic, this is 2020, everything shut down. I went from traveling the tri-state the first 3 years, getting work there, to traveling the whole U.S.
Okay, well, let's rewind. How did you start?
How did I start? Okay. In high school, I'm gonna have to edit out this part. In high school, in middle school, backtrack, I was a lead in the play because I can sing. And years go by, and I went to school with this kid who noticed that I really I was like a ham in front of the camera, and I wasn't shy, and I loved to sing. So years later after high school, he's trying to figure out what he wants to do, and he still works at Best Buy, and he's like not sure. And he works with someone who's an amateur photographer. And that photographer was looking for models to work with to practice photography because he just got a camera and he knew he wanted to do it, but he didn't have enough experience to work with pros. And I was totally inexperienced. So my friend asked me, do you like modeling? And I was like, no, I can't model. That's crazy. I don't have the body. I'm not tall enough. That's never going to happen. And he was like, just try it. He needs to work on it anyway. Just give it a shot. And I was like, all right, but like, no, it's never going to happen. As soon as I did the first photo shoot and I saw the pictures at the end, I was lucky enough to start off working with a really good photographer, and he was just practicing, but he had a natural knack for it. As soon as I saw the photos, I knew my business brain went off, and I realized it was something I could do working for myself and making my own schedule, and something I could be really active because I like to be outside and active. So I immediately knew that that's what I wanted to do, and I've been doing it ever since.
Oh, okay. So, what's the furthest you ever traveled for a shoot?
I guess the furthest I've traveled is California, but that was the furthest plane ride. I love long road trips, and I found that out in the middle of modeling that I'm kind of obsessed with them. So my longest ride was Indianapolis. I went 11 hours there and 11 hours back, and I also did North Carolina, which was 7 hours. And everyone told me to fly, but I love to long drive, so that was a cool thing I figured out that I loved in the middle of all of this.
Oh, okay. So you've been in this business for a while.
Yeah.
I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, you got to be more specific.
Tell me the good about the business.
Okay, so the good thing that I would have never expected is that when you want to be a freelancer of any kind, I'm going to stick with modeling because I can't speak for everyone else. But what I learned about modeling is you can take it two ways. You can take it as the things on your body are not good enough, or you're not tall enough to be a runway model, or you don't have the stats, or you're not signed to an agency. You can start to feel bad about all those things, which I have before. Or you can look at it totally the opposite way, that there's opportunity for everyone of every height, every size. If you want to be an influencer, there's opportunity for absolutely everyone who's interested in learning business hands-on and working for other businesses, but still maintaining your own schedule. And my favorite part is that I'm kind of like a little kid who just always wants to go outside and do things. And a lot of my shoots, when I get to do fashion and nature, and even boudoir out in nature, it gives me an opportunity to do so many things I never thought I could do while being paid for it. That's pretty cool. Like, my job is like fun for me.
Okay, so I know it's got to be some bad.
Yeah.
So let me know about the bad.
This year specifically has almost made me give up, but I decided to I'm not sure yet what I want to do, because ever since the quarantine hit, things changed a little bit. A lot of girls were starting to do tethered shoots at home, and I did a couple. But what I found discouraging about it was cool that I could shoot at home with just a tethered cable, which you could buy online, and if you have a DSLR camera, you can set it up and connect it to your laptop, and it was a cool opportunity to have people pay to shoot in your own room in the safety of your own home. But I really didn't like it because I got an overwhelming amount of people who expected me to do nudes because I was home, but not the kind of nudes that are super artistic. And they wanted me to do everything, because keep in mind, the tethered photo shoots, the model has to do their makeup, wardrobe, hair, set up the camera, angle it every time for different looks, and then set up the backdrop. So they have to do everything, but everybody wanted me to do it for like no money. Like they thought like, oh, if you're home, we'll just do this for fun. And it started to wear on me so much over time that I stopped doing the tether shoots, canceled all the ones I had booked. I'm not interested in doing graphic nudity for all of the strangers around the world, because you can do it with everyone around the world, which is kind of the cool part about it, but also the downfall.
Oh, okay.
And I just figured out that this whole year has been discouraging in that way, where women are starting to shoot so much graphic nudes to make money that they're not appreciating the art of modeling anymore, which is, there's an art to it and it should be fun, and I think it lost some of its fun.
And, I can't keep this fluffy. So what's the worst part of the business? The bad things that happen?
The worst parts to me is wanting to get respect as a businesswoman and not getting the kind of respect that you're looking for, always getting asked to shoot stuff you don't want to shoot or shoot for free and travel to do it. Like, just come here and no one respects your time. That's one thing. But I have to say, for girls who are new, I think the worst thing for them is being safe with photographers that they just met, not knowing how to keep themselves safe when working with new people. I have not had as much trouble with that as other women seem to, but it's definitely a drawback of the industry, because some people should not be allowed to have a camera, but everybody can get one now.
Yeah, I know there's some photographers, they'll shoot just to shoot, just because they want to see a chick basically half naked. Yeah.
And then they don't even try to expand or do things that are beautiful or artsy or fun. It's literally just porn, and it's
they don't even try to hide it.
No.
Now, with that being said, have you seen that part of the business of guys trying to come on to you and doing shoots and stuff?
6 years doing this full time.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way, and I've been lucky. I've only had maybe 2 or 3 shoots that were uncomfortable, but still, I think that's on my end, because I'm good at communicating with people before I get to the photo shoot, and I know when someone's a little off, even talking to them online. But there's still been times where a pro photographer who's a big name would say that they were going to help you with something, or they want to shoot collab, and you think it's a big deal because they have a big name, but you don't know them well enough, and then everyone doesn't tell you because they're scared to speak up that person is not safe to work with alone. And I've had that situation where I go to them and they treat you not the way that you want to be treated. Those people, once I found out their deal, I never work with them again. And I know girls who've been harassed at shoots and then go back to shoot with them again because they feel like they need either the attention, the money, or they need to prove something. But don't do that. That's my biggest advice. If you feel uncomfortable to shoot, get out of there as fast as you can. Never work with that person again. And you don't have to blast them by name, but if somebody asks you privately, do tell them that they're going to walk into something dangerous. Because a girl let me walk into a dangerous shoot once, and when I came home from it, she's like, "So, are you alright?" I was like, "So you knew this was dangerous, but you didn't say anything?" Never ever do that to a girl. That's beyond jealousy or cattiness. That's vindictive and awful. And you should never put somebody else in danger, even if you don't like them. That's not a good... I would tell anyone not to shoot with those people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm very passionate about this.
Okay, let's bring this back. Bring this back a little bit. What do you plan to do in the future? Are you going to continue modeling, or are you going to expand out to anything else?
So, with all of the downfalls of this year and photo shoots getting a little more difficult to do group work because of everything that's been happening, I've been thinking about going back to school for psychology. Even though it feels kind of like I'm giving up, I'm going to do, instead of doing modeling full-time, I think I'm going to go to school online, keep working at a degree, do modeling part-time, and still be able to, hopefully, still have time to host some workshops, hire other models, and get photographers in groups next year when things kind of calm down.
Ah, okay. Well, this has been Jenny P.
Rambling. Actually, this was pretty focused.
Did I leave anything out?
I don't know. Is there anything you want to know?
No, because
Okay.
I know you privately, and I think me and you have been close for so many years that I know everything about you. So it's not anything I want to know, but your fans might want to know some stuff. So
Well, that should be said that Vic was one of the first people I ever shot with. When I first started, I was very, I loved boudoir right away, like meeting lingerie, sexy attire, but I was not comfortable shooting nudes with anyone because I just didn't trust them. And for some reason, I started working with Vic when I first started modeling, like it was right away. And I knew I wanted to try it just to know how to do all kinds of different photo shoots. And he was the first person that I felt, and the only person for years before one of my boyfriends got me naked, that I felt like safe with, because he didn't make it uncomfortable. And I think that's really important to be like, if you're going to shoot that, trust the person and be very close and comfortable knowing that you're going to be okay when you do the shoot, especially if you're younger, which, you know, be careful. But like, he was the first person that I shot with that I felt like safe doing that. So there's nothing wrong with doing that, but you should always feel like you're comfortable with the person. Everybody's comfortable with different people, but it was just nice to know that I could expand to all genres and try new things with someone without feeling like it was going to be something bad was going to happen. You need to find that person that you're comfortable with, because there's nothing wrong with shooting super sexy or super fashion or super glam beauty. It doesn't matter. But you just have to make sure you're safe and that you connect with the person in a way that you know that you trust them. That's very important.
Well, I'm married, so I'm lucky my wife lets me even do this stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm not trying to jeopardize a good thing. So
Yeah.
I try to keep it on the up and up. And now you said you're going to school. Are you going to be able to, I thought you were going to do something different, like teach, or are you not going to do that anymore?
So in the last year or two, when I was modeling around the US, I started to incorporate workshops, which is where photographers usually come to either shoot for their portfolio or learn photography, new lighting setups and stuff like that. And I started teaching with a fellow photographer who ended up moving far away. So we might do some workshops next year while I go to school online, but I can't say for sure that that's going to come back, because with everything with the pandemic, group workshops aren't as comfortable as they were just a few months ago. So while a lot of models have been asking me if I'm still going to hire them, if I'm still going to do the workshops, if I'm going to teach, I teach online one-on-one photographers and models how to book, how to travel, how to do everything that I've learned in the last few years. But I can't say for sure what's going to happen in the future, but I would like, if it was my choice, to continue teaching and continue modeling part-time and see where it takes me, because I do love teaching and I love giving women work, and men, male and female models, work that they feel proud about, that they can go home with pictures and money and everything.
So when you say teaching, is that like teaching poses or the whole shebang of what photographers to choose and all that stuff?
So right now I'm not doing a class that is, that is people at this spot.
Go ahead.
So, hold on.
What's this about?
This is about modeling.
Modeling?
Yes.
Looks like.
Thank you. Okay, wait, what was the question?
Is what are you going to teach? Is it going to be just modeling or posing, or is it going to be the whole shebang?
So far, this actually came about. Everyone told me that I should teach for a long time, but I kind of thought that I couldn't, because I thought I was only good at being in front of the camera and posing and everything. I didn't know if I could teach anybody. Turns out I love to teach. And a photographer he was trying to get a model to teach him a few new things to make his studio a little more interesting with the models that came in and new poses and basically everything about getting new clients in and making them feel like models. But she was busy, and she's like a posing expert. So he came to me, he'd worked with me a few years ago, and he was like, "You're really good at this, and I think you'd be able to help me. Would you like to teach me online? I'll pay for it, and you should charge for this if people do this in the future." So I was like, okay, I'll try, but I don't know if you're gonna get anything out of it. It was supposed to be only an hour class. It ended up being 2.5 hours. I helped him with a lot of new ideas, a lot of new ways to pose clients who aren't models, because they usually have the most trouble with posing. But since then, I've worked with a couple photographers on everything that freelancing in our industry encompasses. So one model paid me just to help her book travel shoots and like the way that I do that and how I go about that. Another model wanted to know specifically facial expression and how she uses her body, and we found out through the hour of talking that it was some of the things she thought she wanted to know were actually other things that she needed to work on, and she's been taking that to photo shoots and using that ever since. And there's been a couple other models and photographers that they ask questions and I just answer as much as I can. A lot of them are starting or have been modeling a long time and want to switch things up. So it's really everything. It's like everything you want to know that I can possibly tell you, I'm going to be 100% honest and give you my best advice and feedback. And eventually I'd like structured classes, but for now it's more of just people, it's more of like a Q&A that I just give them every tip that they can go with and answer every question that they have.
All right, I hope I don't get you in trouble with this last question, but through the years I've been shooting, I notice a lot of models, not a lot, but a few models do surgery to look better. What's your thoughts on that?
I feel like you know how I feel about this, and I know a lot of girls are not going to like my answer, because I know girls that I absolutely love. I adore them. They're the sweetest human beings, and they have plastic surgery where I don't think they needed it, but it makes them happy. My problem with it is that most women I know who get something enhanced, at first they're super excited about it because it's fun, it's new, it's like getting a new purse or shoes. Thing is, you can't take it off, and you have to, most people don't know that with plastic surgery you have to keep doing it. So some of these women who started off really excited about something new end up feeling like it defines them, it came out of a place of insecurity that they did that they got surgery for a look. Whenever I talk to people and get to know the reason why they originally got plastic surgery, it's usually that someone made them feel inadequate, not beautiful enough, not good enough in some way, shape, or form, and they did it out of insecurity. And the girls I know who did it for just simply aesthetic view usually feel kind of bad underneath it all that they couldn't just be themselves naturally. I'm 100% natural from head to toe, and of course there's things I don't like about my body, but I would never tell a young girl who wants to be a model or wants to be beautiful or just wants to appreciate her own body and isn't sure about it, I would never tell her to go get surgery to alter it unless it was necessary. Like if you had a double mastectomy and you wanted to get, your breasts were taken away and you wanted to get them back, that's understandable to me, but just changing your body just to look like someone else is never necessary, in my opinion. And I think a lot of it, even if they don't admit it, comes from an insecure place. So I just think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I know people, and I know that I don't think it's wrong, but I don't think you need it. And if you're thinking of being an Instagram influencer, or model, or an actress or whatever, be yourself and see how far that gets you first, 100%. Because I think that's a lot more important. And now boys are gonna ride through on a bike. This is what happens when you shoot outside at a park by my house. And so for all the girls that are going to jump down my throat because they don't like that I just said that, just know that you don't need to, if you're starting off and you think you need to do that, because a lot of the famous influencers have a lot of plastic surgery, that's not necessary to make money, to travel, to be a part of this industry at all. Definitely not necessary, and you don't need to look like everybody else. In fact, being very unique is often the models that make it to the top, because they don't look like everybody else, because they have something that makes them stand out. So you do not need to be a cookie cutter to be successful.
So in closing, be happy with you.
Yes, always be happy with you. Be yourself. And what I used to say to all girls when they would ask me how I'm so confident, I would just say, rock what you got. Because you have a lot of beauty on the inside and the outside. And the more you know how to use what you have, the more you never need something external to make it true. You just need to believe in yourself and be yourself. You don't need anybody to alter you in any way. You don't even need to change your hair or the way you like to dress. Just do what makes you happy, and your happiness will follow.
All right, that's it for now. Look out for the photos from today's photo shoot. Anything else you want to leave them with, Jen?
Go to my YouTube channel. If you can't find it, type in Jenny B Official. If that's also my Instagram, Jenny B as in BEE, the Buzz B, because that's me. And my personal account is Talk to the Bee. So if you want to talk to me, send me a message. If you like this video, leave me a comment and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Yay!
Oh yeah, you can still see her singing on my Instagram. It's VBlazingMag.
Yes.
So you'll catch her singing. Also, you'll catch another candid video of her ranting on because she had a car accident at our last shoot.
Yes, and I took a video right after. And then after the car accident, I had the option to go home or stay and shoot, and we ended up shooting for 4.5 hours before I went home. So that was pretty crazy.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
All right, see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.